The noon sun bled across the Montana plains as Clara staggered into the ranch yard, clutching her ribs and barely able to breathe. "Save me, 3 times a day," she whispered, voice trembling. "Please, I can't fend it off alone." Rancher Luke Braddock had seen storms, stampedes, and wild coyotes, but nothing like the terror in Clara's eyes. For weeks, something had been stalking her family's abandoned property at the edge of the valley. Something that didn't leave tracks, but left the animals silent and the nights colder than winter. Luke agreed without hesitation. 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and midnight, he'd ride to her homestead, stand watch, and protect her. And at first, it seemed simple. Just shadows in the barn. Footsteps on the porch, a low moan that drifted across the fields. Nothing he couldn't handle, until the thing began to follow him back. By the 3rd day, Luke's strength was failing. He hadn't slept, barely ate, and every hour he felt more drained, as if something invisible clung to him, sucking the life from his bones. Still, he rode to Clara's house at dawn for the morning watch. She met him on the porch, terror blooming when she saw his pale face. "It's feeding on you now," she choked out. "You protected me, so it latched onto you instead." Luke tried to stand tall, tried to give her one more reassuring smile. But his knees buckled, the ground rushed up, and he collapsed in her arms. The air around them grew colder. The unseen thing whispered through the grass, "Hungry." Clara tightened her grip on him. "Then I'll save you," she whispered back. 3 times a day, just like you did for me." Why the 3rd day, Luke Braddock moved like a man made of splinters, every joint aching, every breath tight. He had kept his promise without fail. The morning watch at Clara's rotting fence line, the afternoon check through the barn and yard, and the dreaded midnight vigil when the air turned sharp and the shadows seemed to lean closer. But something had changed. Whatever stalked Clara wasn't just watching anymore. It was following him home, sinking its invisible claws into his shoulders, riding behind him on the saddle like a weight. He slept in broken, shivering seconds. His dreams were filled with static and whispering voices that scattered before he could understand them. Still, he rode at dawn. A man keeps his word. But when he reached Clara's house this time, he didn't dismount gracefully. He practically slid off the horse, catching himself only by grabbing the porch railing. His head swam. His skin felt thin, as if the cold could slip right through him. Clara saw him and froze. "Luke, you're worse." He tried for a smile, but it was a crooked, brittle thing. "Didn't sleep much." She stepped closer, inhaling sharply when she saw the dark hollows under his eyes. "It's feeding on you now." He opened his mouth to deny it, then stopped. Because even speaking felt like pushing through mud. And because the truth pulsed behind his ribs. Something was sucking him dry, inch by inch. "It should have stayed with me," Clara murmured, voice trembling. "It only hunts those who try to shield someone else. It takes their strength first, then their breath." Luke's knees buckled. Clara caught him under the arms, but he was twice her size, and they sank to the porch together. A sudden chill swept across the homestead. Not wind. This was heavier, deliberate. The kind of cold that belonged underground. The horses in the corral went silent. The boards under them shivered. Luke exhaled sharply, puffs of white mist leaving his lips despite the summer heat. "Clara, get inside." "No." She held him tighter. "It wants you weak. That's how it chooses a new host." Her voice trembled, but her arms were steady. "Luke, listen to me. You helped me. You didn't have to, but you did. So now I'm helping you." He tried to push her back, but even lifting his hand felt impossible. The pressure around them thickened, as though an unseen presence lowered itself onto the porch, inches from their faces. A low vibration thrummed through the boards, rising like a growl. Clara snapped her head toward the doorway, eyes blazing. "You can't have him," she whispered. The vibration stopped. The cold wavered. Then, as if angered, it surged forward, an invisible force that made the porch crack beneath them. Luke gasped as something yanked at his chest, trying to pull him free from his own body. Clara threw herself against him, hands splayed over his heart. "You took from him," she choked. "Now take it back." The cold intensified, then whipped upward, like smoke being sucked into the sky. The pressure vanished. Luke collapsed fully, unconscious but breathing. Clara hovered over him, trembling. "I'll save you," she promised, voice fierce and cracking all at once. "3 times a day, just like you saved me."